Hi. So I just realized I didn't make the video for this week yet. um Mostly because I lost track of what day it is because I'm trying to have a life. Um and what my life consists of is there is this concept of a third space, which kind of like makes me want to vomit. But it's a place that's not work, not home. It's a third place where you can exist around people. Um, as an introverted person with avoidant personality disorder, gross. Um, but also, see, I think I would be, I talked about this, I think I would be extroverted if I wasn't created as an avoidant person, because you have to become avoidant. You need a trigger. Um, you need to have it thrust upon you by people in your life. Um, Generally, the idea of being around the same people makes my skin crawl. I'm the stranger type. I'm the stranger type of avoidant. That for some reason being around strangers that I'm never going to see again works for me. And as opposed to a lot of people with avoidant personality disorder that are almost slightly agoraphobic, um, but not really. They're just avoidant, where they want to be around people they know. And for me, being around family shuts me down and makes me, freeze. Um, and for the opposite type, it's being in a strange situation that makes them freeze. Um, so I have been doing a lot of changes. Again, I'm transferring departments at work. That's going to take effect next Monday. It probably could have happened actually faster. Um, but it does sort of feel like maybe possibly I'm jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. I don't know. I don't um I've done the work before, but I don't even know. I've never even talked to, I don't think, the new manager that I'm going to be having to deal with. Anyway, and there's lots of other things going on in my life, and I guess I just figured, okay, let me just change everything, right? So I found a third space for me. It is in another state. It is about an hour and a half away from where I live. Um, but I actually had, so I live in Maine, and I had for a year a season pass to a museum space in Colorado. So going away to me, right on. It's far enough away. Chances are excellent I am never going to run into the same other, except the people that work there. I will never run into the same people again. And because it's not like I'm going to be going there every day, um, I think maybe a couple times a month. It's a good long drive. Um, I really don't think I'm going to be seeing the same people again. Couldn't be better. But I don't react well to changes. That is very avoidant. Or avoidant personality disorder type thing. I mean, it's ironic that being around strangers is good, but changes in my life is very not good. So I've been super anxious. I react physically to my anxiety. It's awesome. Um, it makes me wonder. I mean, this is bonkers, but I'm going to assume maybe this is correct. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe. Oh, I keep hitting you. Sorry. Maybe. See, I thought the anxiety was. I had the anxiety first, and then I was having the physical reactions. Maybe it's the other thing. Maybe I'm having the physical reaction because my anxiety is starting to spike. Because this is going to sound very weird, but um, I get so used to having a massive amount of anxiety that I don't even register it. It's like it's just there. It's it's the same as I have a whatever they call it, persistent or treatment resistant depression. It's just there all the time. I just like, okay, whatever. So I guess it's high functioning, right? Um, Same with the anxiety that in my mind I'm thinking I get anxious, and then it peaks and I start having the physical. I had just this crazy idea that maybe the physical is actually coming first, and I am saying, okay, well, this in my mind, I must be anxious because I'm having these physical reactions. So I become anxious because I don't notice the anxiety a lot of times until after. Does that make any sense? It probably makes no sense at all. It's probably me being bonkers. Again, I had a really long drive today, and I totally did not want to do it. And was like, this is going to be a disaster. This is going to be horrible. This is going to be awful. What the hell am I doing? Until I got there, and then I'm like, oh my god, this is great. This is what I should have been doing. Why have I waited for so many years? Um, and yeah. Okay, so that's sort of amorphous, general. Again, the point of these videos is what's been going on in my life. I do have a lot of things pending that I don't know exactly what's going to happen with them, and I think maybe that's super common right now. Um, I live in the United States. Bonkers stuff keeps happening here. Thanks to AI, a lot of people are having issues with their jobs right now. That's a big thing. I mean, if you if your job that you've had for years and years and years is suddenly changing, you know, in a good way, in a bad way, change is change, man. It's stressful if you don't know. I mean, to a degree, it feels to me, even having like a set job, a long-term job, it feels to me like I can't depend on anything. It feels to me like anything and everything could change at any moment. Um, but that's just like, again, this low level anxiety that's underneath everything where I don't know. You don't know. To me, even if you're doing, I mean, I suppose if you literally had a job where you were literally like in some sort of manufacturing or something, literally doing literally the exact same thing every day, then it would be like once a year there was like a jam in the machine or something like that. Maybe then that you wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have that anxiety, but I have it all the time. I never know. I mean, like, I freak out about my car. I think my car, like, I had a car accident like a year ago, um, and I was hit by a snowplow, and I didn't see it coming. Obviously, I would have tried to not get hit if I had seen it coming. It really, truly came out of the blue. Um, you don't know, something can happen all the time and be out of the blue. That um that is something I spend way too much time thinking about. That's that low level anxiety. But then there's these radical changes, and again, even though these are good things, these are great things, really. It will be great. I will be going and doing the same type of job in a better situation. It's got to be a better situation. There's no way it can be worse. Um, and even if it is, I can just get another job. And I say that as glibly as somebody with weight personality disorder ever could. Um, I found this place that is far enough away. I mean, it's kind of like I can go there and have like a real mini vacation. Like the ones when I'm getting on a plane and disappearing for 3 days. It's almost like that, but I can do it like in an afternoon. I can just drive there and drive home. And I was actually, and I don't mind driving. I drive all the time. Um, I was super anxious about the drive, and I've driven it before. It's not like I've not been to this area. I've actually been to the place. I knew where I was going. Um, it's been on the back of my mind that maybe this would be a good thing. Why don't you go do this? Um, I would say it was just as good as the first time I went, except it was actually massively better because it was almost completely empty because it was a midday afternoon, a midweek afternoon. Um, so it was great. It was great. I basically brought a book and sat and read it in a completely different environment than I'm in ever in my life. It was great. And I could do that every week. I could do it 5 days a week if I wanted. I mean, technically, I could do it and still work on a given day, even though it be 3 hours driving. Hey, this is great, right? But I was really, really, really nervous about it. It is winter. We actually had snow this morning, yesterday morning. Um, so it was not ideal driving weather. But again, that was me, I think, finding like something I could actually pin my anxiety on, because my anxiety that I'm having right now is stuff that I don't know is going to happen. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, odds are good, but who knows? Um, and that's getting to me. But I'm usually traveling, like I was last month. Really? Wow. Last month I was Mexico. And this is the thing, is it seems so long ago. But it wasn't. Well, that's the thing. I can go do this like every week, and then it'd be like, oh, well, it was a while since I was there. Okay, well, guess what? I'll go. Um, that's great, because I have an amorphous trip in the future. Um, but I don't have a big trip. I don't have it planned. I don't have anything, like I don't have ticket spot or anything like that. That's a different sort of anxiety, because then I'm always like, did I somehow screw up the dates? And actually, I know somebody who just went on a trip and did exactly that. I did that once. I went on a trip and I had forgotten that I had booked a hotel, so I booked another hotel, so I had two hotels booked. That was kind of lame. Um, but I think that's the closest thing I've done. Um, but somebody else that I know recently, like really recently in the last couple of weeks, um, got the days wrong for a flight, and showed up a day early, and yet had everything else booked, and had to um, change the flight. Um, that's not cool. um, that's the type of anxiety that I deal with the traveling. And again, I think that having that sort of thing in the background makes what I do when I travel better. Um, I don't know. This is sort of like a non-video, except it really isn't. It is this. I don't know what's going on. Everything feels like it's up in the air. That is kind of driving me around the bend, and I'm losing track of days, and I'm losing lots and lots and lots of time. I mean, it's okay. It's everything so far is okay. I did remember to make the video eventually. Um, yeah, but that's what I'm doing. Um, Lots of anxiety because I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing. So I'm doing a lot of self-care. Again, this is probably going to drive everybody crazy. I went with my son last weekend to see a movie. Again, it was great. He picked the movie. There were, I think, 6 other people in the entire movie theater. Could not be better. That's the way to do it. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be like that. Maybe I shouldn't be so focused on how to not be around people, but not being around people just makes it better. I feel like I'm not going to be judged. I feel like there's a very good chance that I won't ever see any of the people ever again, and that there's a slightly higher chance the more people that are there. It's like, I don't know, it's something ridiculous, like if you're in a group of 23 people, that chances are you're going to find somebody with the same birth date that you had. That's like, oh my God. That's all it takes? 23 people? Ooh. 23 people saying what their birthday is. I mean, this is a common thing. People are interested in that. But that's all it takes, 23 people, and then you're going to have somebody pair up. 23 people in a movie theater, chances are leaving, you're going to have somebody say, "Hey, I know you. How you doing?" And then you had to have that conversation. Ooh. I mean, it helped, I guess. I went with my son, so we were already paired. So I had a much less chance to actually run into somebody else that I wasn't expecting to run into, that I knew of. Hey, maybe that's why the avoidant people who need to have someone in their life to do anything they do, maybe this is like why they do that. Maybe that's their genius way of avoiding conversations with people, is because they have the person with them. So the chances of being in a group of 23 and having somebody that they happen to know, regardless of how big or small an area they live in, goes down. Hey, maybe that's the genius thing. Or maybe they've got a really good excuse to avoid talking to random person that they've known like 5 years ago, that suddenly wants to talk to them again and find out everything they're doing, because they're having a conversation with the person that they came with. That makes sense. I still would never. I still would never. Like, I actually am planning on going to see a movie that's supposed to be coming out later this year, and my son's like, "Hey, that's great, I'll go with you." And I'm like, "No, you won't." No, you won't. If it's something that I'm interested in, no, I'll go with him to this movie that he picked out. But something that I'm interested in, no, no, I'm not going to go and have to explain anything about the movie, one, and two, why I wanted to see it. That's even worse. Nope. Nope. It's like going to this place that's an hour and a half from here. I'm never going to have to explain, well, what brings you out here? I just decided to drive an hour and a half for no reason whatsoever to hang out here for a little while. I mean, that's the truth, but no way in hell am I going to admit this to somebody. I hope I never run into somebody, so that I'm going to have the opportunity to say something so bizarre. Which chances are, if I said that to somebody, they'd be like, "Oh, good for you. God, that's great that you're doing that you're taking time for yourself." But I would be so awkward if I ever had to explain that. Um, all right. So there it is. And yeah, see you next week. Bye.